are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. It's the Barnes and Mike show. It's been a while. Michael, how the hell are you?
How are you, Barnes?
How are you, Buffer, by the way?
Buffer, how are you?
In. And we have a, I would like to say, this episode of the Sports Port is brought to you by American Mule. I've never had one of these before. Sorry, I kind of had that out of the camera there.
It's all right. You see it. You got it. You did
it. Next couple taste tests, I'll get down to it. But I'm going to try this. So
First time having it?
First time having it. This is called the Southern Mule. So it's bourbon whiskey with ginger, orange, cherry, natural flavors, and carbonation. So I like the packaging, definitely solid. And the merch. It's all about the merch.
Yes.
Go online, get some sweatshirts. These are the best. Me and Michael got them on. And I'm gonna give this a try right now. So
I'm excited.
See what we got.
I have not yet tried one. Tony has. He loves all the flavors.
Great, honestly. Little bite. Obviously ginger. First thought, tastes like a ginger ale.
Wow.
Not too overpowering. 7% though, so you get a little buzz if you need to. Not that we're going too crazy on the Sports Port.
It's a 4-pack too. It comes in a nice 4-pack. Over Barnes's. Oh my bad, that was me. Over Barnes's right shoulder, you can see the packaging over there in one of our boxes. It looks dope.
Yeah,
looks good.
So definitely give it a try. Check it out and
go get some merch.
Yeah, get some merch. So let's get to it, Michael. The world of the National Football League.
Juju Smith-Schuster is blown up. It is caught. DeAndre Hopkins.
Do not stand up with that man and let him just throw you out of the club.
On its way. It bounces off the crossbar, and it's good.
Oh my goodness. Week 6. Is it
what the heck?
Every year this happens. Every year, same conversation.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's week 6.
Why is it that the first couple of weeks go by so fast, and then the last couple of weeks I feel like go?
Yeah. And
right?
I mean, it's just because you know what it is? It's just football is just the best, especially from a national perspective. I don't think you could really argue that. I mean, of course, different sports, me with baseball, you with the Knicks, there's nothing like watching your team, but national perspective, nothing more entertaining. And tonight, I think we're going to have an entertaining game. We get the 4-1 defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming in to Philadelphia to play the 2-3 Eagles, 8:20 FOX, Troy Aikman, Joe Buck. It's going to be a spectacle. And the Buccaneers, 4-1, they are dealing with some injuries. You got Rob Gronkowski out.
He's still out? Wow.
Yeah, those
what
ribs.
Happened? Oh, the ribs.
Yeah, I think partially broken or punctured. They have these terms that they use. Levante David, the talented linebacker, and Antoine Winfield Jr. all out. But it doesn't matter because we look at this offense. We know what they're all about, throwing the football. Brady off to another great start at age 44, 1,767 yards. 15 touchdowns with the only 2 interceptions. He's got Mike Evans, 393 yards, 4 touchdowns. Antonio Brown, 325 and 3 touchdowns. He's only played 4 games. So he's, done well in the games that he's played. And then you also have Chris Godwin, not to mention Leonard Fournette, the top, one of the top picks in the NFL draft a few years ago at running back. He's taken over the reins from Ronald Jones. So this offense, it just, even though they've had a couple games, I mean, you look at the first game of the year against the Cowboys, the game against the Patriots, but really, I mean, look at what they did last week, 45 points. They don't struggle to score, which is important, and they have talent on the defensive end. You think about Jason Pierre-Paul. They just brought in Richard Sherman. They got a lot of guys out there. So I look at them here. They come in 7-point favorites, and I have to say, I mean, a lot of people going into this season down on the Eagles. They don't really like Jalen Hurts, and that's where I think –
Do you like him?
I was going to say – I think he's a talent.
Me
I think
too.
He's going to be good. He needs the right pieces around him.
And dude, he's such a preseason. I remember he would walk by his wide receivers and randomly throw him questions.
Yeah.
About the offense. I
mean,
love that stuff.
And you look at, he succeeded at Alabama. He transfers for his senior year, goes to Oklahoma, gets them to the playoff, was in the Heisman conversation. And it's like he can throw, but he also can run. He's got 13.
Does he not look like McNabb back there?
Yeah. And I think he's more elusive running. And I think Devonta Smith, his former teammate at Alabama, he's going to be a stud. So you keep them two together. You improve the pieces around him. I mean, there's been some questions about first-year head coach Nick Sirianni.
It's all right.
But I like the running back, Miles
Get
Sanders.
him out of there if they need
He's
to.
good. So I think I look at this season, and I'm sure you probably feel the same way. The record, they'll hover around 500. They're not making the playoffs, but they have pieces to build around.
You'll see like flashes of talent from these guys, right?
Yes.
Like youthful talent that's like, oh, okay, in a couple years, this could be a team.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, everyone's already, trade for Deshaun Watson. And it's just like, no, just
he's not even playing right now.
And it's not like Hurts's numbers are bad. That's the thing. It's like you gotta have you see the glimpses. I mean, I'll be the first one to admit, as much as I hate to say this. I mean, of course, he's had another season under his belt, but he's shown a lot more glimpses than Zach Wilson has yet.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? And it's like, and we're still okay with that because we know that he's gonna be there. So I'm perfectly, confident in Hurts. And I look at this game, I think at home especially, they might get out to a start. They might lead at halftime, but I think it's going to be end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth. Bucs pull away. I think, Bucs maybe 31-20. I don't know what you're thinking here.
I could see a close game. I could see like a Tom Brady-esque Thursday night football drive, end of the game, home crowd, keeps the team in it the whole game, basically. You know what I mean? Gives them that energy that they need. And then, the Bucs win. So 27-24.
27-24. So basically you're saying if our audience out here, if they were to wager on this one, you would like the Eagles here, home dogs +7.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, I see the value here.
I feel like it's a better payout too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. And especially you take a money line, then you're getting real ballsy. But I don't think they're going to win. But like I said, I think they'll give them a fight. But I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. And, me and Tony have talked about it. Sometimes these games aren't good, but I think they got this matchup right. Jalen Hurts turnover machine tonight.
Wow.
Interesting take by Befur. I mean, I look at the Tampa Bay Bucs defense. It's not the same as it's been last year. Obviously, I mentioned the injuries. David and Winfield, there's some of their top defenders out there. So I think that affects them. So I don't know about it's going to be a turnover machine. I mean, he's only throwing 3 interceptions this year. Brady has 2. It's not like, he has 10 picks this year. So I don't really think there's going to be that many turnovers in this one, but I do think, it's going to be exciting. And obviously the Eagles are pumped up after coming off that, road win last week, 3-point road win in Carolina against Tony's favorite quarterback, Sam Darnold, who went back to his old Jets ways. I think he had 3 picks last week. And he's saying Richard Sherman is back, and that is correct. Before I think that was a big pickup by the Bucs. Obviously not the same guy that he used to be, but definitely a solid starter. So, I mean, it's just remarkable the amount of talent the Bucs have put together. I don't know if I've ever seen something come together this quick, and I don't know if you could attest to this, Michael. Where
Warners.
a team, it was 7-9.
Warners, I said Warners, St. Louis Rams.
Yeah,
that's the only time I could think of football.
But I think they even have more talent than them. Obviously the Rams.
Oh yeah, totally.
But
But I'm just saying the turnaround aspect.
Yes.
Worst team for a decade, Super Bowl champs the next season.
Yeah, and it's just. I don't know. I guess it's, when you don't sit in that position, being a general manager, being an owner, it's easier to point fingers and have talking heads. But at the same time, I just feel like it's like, you know what I mean? We study this game. We see, we know talent. And I think sometimes, I call it like teams getting too cute with things. And it's like, if we know a guy can play, I don't care about age. I don't care about.
Remind me about this when we talk about NBA. People playing. Okay.
Thank
you. Sorry, keep going. You don't care about age.
Right. I just want talent. So it's like what I say with the draft. If a guy's injury, he got arrested in the offseason. But if I know he can play, I'm bringing him in because it's just like you put people in the right situation. You know what can happen? And you look at Antonio Brown. I mean, last year we're talking, before he signed with the Bucs, is this guy ever going to play it down in the NFL again? Wasn't really too much interest, but Tom Brady wants him. Tom Brady gets him. And I knew that talent wins out. you put him back on the Steelers, he'd have 1,700 yards receiving this year. He's still clearly in his prime, and I think he's going to be a reason why the Bucs are going to be in conversation once again to make it to the Super Bowl. I think it's just going to be a matter, can they beat the Los Angeles Rams? Obviously, we will see what happens, but looking forward to watching this one, 8:20 on Fox, and obviously, we'll recap it tomorrow and see what happens, but I'm looking forward to watching it, of course. But that being said, we are going to switch gears here to the world of Major League Baseball.
Giving chase at Judge, and he dives into the stand.
DeGrom begins the season with an overpowering strikeout of Ronald Acuna.
The wall is gone! 3-run home run! What's going on here? I love it. He drives one to the moon. High, deep, and very gone.
All right. So before we get to the game tonight, we do have some moves, and the Yankees have made some coaching moves. Not the one I was hoping for, but a couple of assistant coaches have been let go. Hitting coach Marcus Timms, third base coach Phil Nevin, and assistant hitting coach. I don't have it here in front of me. I believe his name is PJ. I'm just gonna pull this up right now just to let our viewers know. So the assistant hitting coach is PJ Pateri. Obviously haven't heard his name too much being an assistant.
You don't know PJ Pateri?
But that being said, Michael, obviously I want to see Boone go. It doesn't seem like that's happening, but they haven't announced that they're extending him. So I think that was probably a stipulation.
How much time does he have left?
Boone?
How much time? How many years left?
He doesn't have a contract.
Are you kidding?
No. So that's why it's not for certain. But what I was going to say is I think it's a stipulation. They're still considering bringing back. But the first thing they said is, okay, well, if you're coming back, these guys aren't staying. And obviously you start with the hitting coach. Marcus Timms, lack of offense. You heard us say that enough this season. So obviously getting rid of the hitting coach, I love it. Even though they had good offensive seasons the years before this year, you got to switch stuff up. You got to have a different approach. So I love that move. And then you got Phil Nevin, sent Aaron Judge there in the wild card game. They had the most outs on the bases this year. So that makes sense. It's a third base coach. I know it doesn't have too much effect, but at the same time, we see how competitive these teams are, especially in the American League East. You can't have mistakes like that. So I think letting go of Phil Nevin, that's a good thing. So like I said, I hope that Boone's on the way, but every report would indicate that he's not. The only thing I'm hoping for is, they have that rumored interest from the San Diego Padres. Maybe Boone wants to get out of New York. Maybe he doesn't want it, even though there's a lot of pressure on the Padres after, not making the postseason this year. At the same time, it's just San Diego. It's not New York. And I think he'd be a better fit there. So I hope he goes there. We will obviously see what happens. But just some other news here as well before you get to the game tonight. Very surprising news coming out of St. Louis. Cardinals manager Mike Schitt was let go after a 17-game winning streak this season. They were way out of the playoff conversation. I'm guessing a front office thing, but it's like you can't do that. It's like I think it's crazy, and it's definitely a power struggle. But this whole front office, and you heard Matt talk about it yesterday. It's just ridiculous, and I don't like it. But I guess that's what happens. So Schitt is let go, and then they did announce too Tony La Russa is going to return. The 77-year-old manager, Chicago White Sox, will return 2022. And then also the Braves have announced, their power hitting outfielder, Jorge Soler, is likely to be off the roster. So that's obviously a big blow for them, as well as the Astros. Looks like Lance McCullers will not pitch in the NLCS. So he's their number one pitcher. So that obviously bodes well for the Boston Red Sox. And like we talked about, there's no team that we want to win here. So
only team is the Dodgers.
Exactly.
That's all that matters in this postseason for us.
And speaking of the Dodgers, we will have the game tonight. Originally, so 9:07, Dodgers at Giants, series tied at 2, decisive game 5. Originally, the Dodgers had announced that Julio Urias, the only 20-game winner in the major leagues this year, would get the start, but they've actually pulled an audible here, and they're going to go with reliever Corey Knievel. And this is just
Evil Knievel?
Evil Knievel. And this is just something, the whole opener thing, I think it's crazy. It's stupid. The pitcher's ready to go. Have him pitch. Go to your bullpen later. The Yankees did this last year with Debbie Garcia. They had him start one inning. They bring in J.A. Happ. They lose the game. It was crazy. And I feel like the Dodgers, why are you going to mess around in this situation? This is a winner go home game, and they do this. So they're going to go with the reliever Knievel out of the pen, probably only go an inning. I don't like it. Giants, on the other hand, they have Logan Webb. He's one of the best pitchers in the league. He could go 7 scoreless. So I just really think you're playing with fire here. And I don't think that bodes well for the Dodgers. And I think the Dodgers are far and away the more talented team. But the thing is, as we saw with the Yankees in the wild card game, the most talented team doesn't always win here. So I said it yesterday. I'm going to stand by it. I'm going to go with the Giants here. They're at home. They've had a great year. They haven't got respected for a team that's won 107 games during the regular season because everyone was not expecting them to be good, us included. No one saw this coming. But I think at home, behind the fans, behind Logan Webb, one of their best pitchers, they get the job done. And I wouldn't be surprised if this Corey Knievel decision possibly comes back to bite. What if the Giants, first inning, maybe a Chris Bryant 2-run homer? But I'm going to say at the end of the day, it's going to be 5-3 Giants over the Dodgers. Michael, any input here?
I want the Dodgers, so I'm gonna go Dodgers.
What's the score?
I think dude, it's crazy though. I really like San Fran. I like Chris Bryant.
Right.
I like that whole team.
Buster Posey.
Yeah, I think it's dope. So honestly, as long as one of these teams wins, I take back what I said earlier. As long as one of these two teams ends up, yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if the Braves, whatever. But I don't think that's possible.
But I don't want that for Tony and Mets fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Little brother.
But so what were you saying score-wise here?
10-4.
10-4, wow.
Dodgers.
Shootout.
Yeah.
So, that game, 9:07 TBS, so should be good. I'll definitely have it on one of my screens tonight. Obviously, the volume will be on the football game, of course. I feel like I haven't really asked you, what's your thoughts on Joe Buck? Do you like him or no?
I don't really care for him.
The sarcasm, the entitlement type of thing?
Yeah.
But you think about it. How did he get here? The father got him into announcing because he was the St. Louis Cardinals broadcaster. So that's why he's in the position he is. And
Golick Jr. type of a come up.
Yes. And the thing is, he's even said, and I hate hearing this, me being obviously a sports enthusiast, like all of us are here, of course. But
you are more than some.
Of course.
Yeah.
Especially Yankees, every pitch, spring training.
Already itching.
But he said, out of all the sports games he covers, he does not watch a game unless he's calling it. I mean, what a fraud, right? I mean, who wants to hear an announcer sitting up in the booth, making his millions, talking about like he knows everything? You don't even watch the games, man. Like, what is that?
That's kind of pathetic.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's fraudulent at its core.
Yeah, that's no passion. I really don't like that. So just kind of interesting. But obviously, we'll see what happens. In the winner of this game will face the Atlanta Braves. If the Dodgers win, game 1 will be in Atlanta. If the Giants win, game 1 will be in San Francisco. So, it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens. And looking forward to watching it. Hopefully, we get a good game here. And switching gears here, we were mentioning last night, not too much on TV. So I did venture into hockey. Joe Buck is a clown. That's what Prefer's saying. And hard to argue that. He doesn't like the Yankees either. So how could we like him? I mean,
right.
But I did venture into hockey last night. And
what are your thoughts on your first night of watching NHL again?
So I would say I definitely, I definitely enjoyed it.
Question before you go ahead, actually.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy watching the NHL right now more than you like watching baseball without the Yankees?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's like
it's just not the same juice for you.
Yeah. Like, was it tough for you this year after the Knicks got bounced or no? Or you just love basketball so much?
This year will be tough.
This year would be, but last year
wasn't because we were a year ahead. You know what I mean?
But,
you guys are supposed to be winning. Or when I say you guys, I feel like it's my team as well, but like you own them.
Right.
I feel like it's been their year since 2017. So that's tough.
Yeah.
Like the Knicks, we know for the last 30 years, it's been trash.
No, and I know, some people might call it delusion, but I swear, since 2017, every year, I really have gone into the season with the expectation, I mean, it's got to be our year this year. We're so talented. We came so close in 2017. So it's just really disappointing. And honestly, like, I feel like I go through stretches like this today, did I think about it that much? Obviously, with the coaching moves, it came up a little bit, but like, just when you just asked me that question, like, honestly, I got like, kind of like, it made me think about it for a second, and just the disappointment.
Yeah, I know.
It really is tough because the ability's there, and I just feel like it just all needs to be put together right, and that's just the most frustrating thing. And like, I don't know if you ever thought this like with Dolan, but like the way I am with Hal now, I'm just questioning the desire to win.
Of course, I've questioned that schmuck.
You haven't really talked about him ever, though.
Dude, I hate Dolan.
Yeah, well, I figured that.
Hate him, dude. He is the worst owner. He's worse than Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
He is, dude.
No, he is.
You have New York City, Madison Square Garden, dude, and you're telling me this is what it's been for 30 years? He's horrible.
Yeah.
He's horrible.
Yeah.
He's daddy's son, inherited the team. Trash.
Kind of curious, outside perspective here. Do you think as long as they have a decent retool at the end of the day, that it matters if Boone comes back? Like, if they do, basically what I'm asking is, let's say, like they're expecting, they bring him back. Do you feel like if they make the right moves with like additions, subtractions, that they'll win regardless if he's there or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
but like Tony said yesterday, do you really think the players are excited for Boone to come back?
See, they don't really speak of it too much. Like, Judge has just come out because like they asked him. Of course, he's the leader of the team.
Yeah, but the answers are all BS, though. It's all politically correct.
Right.
Like, yeah, we love Boone.
But you know what it is, though? At the same time, it's like, how I am. I don't like the like I say, the dog and pony show, just like everyone not acting like reality. But at the same time, I do appreciate that Judge says the right thing every time, because
of course.
I don't want a distraction, and saying controversial things is a distraction. And a lot of times when a team has controversy, they're not having a parade at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you take it for what it is. And I appreciate, that he does say the right thing.
No, of course.
But I just think it's like, I'm sure they think like, we don't need this guy. The thought has to cross their mind. Like, what value is he bringing? What has he shown that he's accomplished? He comes in after we're one game away from the World Series, and we've just backpedaled for 4 years.
I mean, that should be what the Yankees are looking at. They have degressed since he's been the manager. Why would you want to bring him back? I don't know why they want him so bad.
Do you think it's just like,
it's the drinking, it's the boozing, it's the partying on the villa? I think that's what it is. Him and Cashman even sound the same on radio. I can't tell the difference.
But the thing is, you have to admit, some of it is definitely Cashman's fault, but at the same time, it definitely all falls on Hal, because he should have got rid of Cashman, and then Cashman, the new GM would say, I don't want Boone here.
Yeah. Dude. Just get Theo, give him everything he wants. Pitch to him. This could make you the greatest GM in sports. Forget about baseball.
Yeah.
Right? Cubs, Red Sox, Yankees. 2 big droughts, third longest, like you said, for the Yankees drought. The other droughts were obviously historical droughts.
Right.
But that's 3 droughts. The drought king.
And it's just, I don't even mean this as like a shot at all. I was getting riled, for the Knicks run last year and stuff, but it's like, it's even harder, I feel like, for me, because like, unfortunately, with all that you've had to endure, over the past 10, 15 years, you're almost like somewhat like used to it. But I'm not used to like thinking about this stuff, seeing news, and then being like, I know we're making the wrong decisions. Like, you've seen Dolan do that.
I know, time and time again. Yeah, that's why last year was so crazy.
Right. Because right stuff, bringing in Thibodeau, the right coach.
And all the president and everybody involved. It's like, I think now Dolan has stepped back, like he did with the Rangers, and they went to the Stanley Cup Finals in 2015, had that great team. Step back.
And it's just.
But real quick, on this, that I'll tell a quick story about this. It's so funny. I always talk about Eddie Curry with the Knicks because he got that big contract.
Right.
And the only thing that he did for the Garden was have the toilet sizes changed because his fat ass couldn't fit on a regular toilet. True story.
Oh man, that's funny. But it's just like,
I mean, he's successful and all that, but
but the thing I'm struggling with is like, I always have the utmost confidence in the Yankees, and obviously, I always talk about Judge, favorite player all time. Like that's definitely a big part of it. And obviously, you look at Cole, you look at Stanton. I mean, those are big cogs. But it's just like, it's just hard for me, like to think like it's like with Boone, and then I guess it really like in with Cashman, knowing that he should be gone. But I guess it really just comes down. If they do mix up the players, that'll give me more confidence. The confidence is always going to be there, but it's just I want the utmost confidence. I want to know we're going to go win the division next year. So it looks like Boone will be back. It looks like Cashman will be back. So I hope they make the right moves. I mean, I can't see them making minimal moves and not changing things up. But I guess we will see what happens. Prefer said, "How dare you?"
yeah, I don't know.
You think he's like ripping on Curry? Is that what he's
maybe. Looks like it.
Oh man. But hey, I mean, hard to blame him though. I mean, I just can't wait to know. It's like, I'm getting through this. As far as just getting through not knowing what's going to happen, like watching the other sports, that's definitely helping. But at the same time, it's like, I just want to know the future of this team and what the direction is going to be. And I want to know who's staying, who's going. And obviously I've talked about this before. I mean, Gallo stands out as some guy. I mean, absolutely has to go. Gary Sanchez is definitely in that conversation. I guess if you want to have one of the rookie catchers or prospect catchers, you want to have them compete with them, I guess that would be okay. But I think it's just one of those things. Sometimes you need. Oh, but first said he is joking, just to confirm that, Michael. But it's just one of those things where it's just like you need to change up a lot. And I don't think really since 2017, of course, there's been some changes, but they haven't done like a really big overhaul. And I think that's what they're overdue for. One guy who's really disappointed the last couple of years, Gleyber Torres. I'll give him a pass. I'll let him, this year is it. If he has a bad year this year, forget about it. You look at Chapman. I mean, he's got 1 year left on the deal. I mean, obviously the highs and lows every year gets old. You'd rather have someone more stable in the ninth inning. But at the same time, it is 1 year left on the deal. So if we're going to have to attach a prospect to trade him, or if we're going to have to get back mediocre value, I guess keep him. What are you going to do? Chad Green, I mean, right now his salary is not too bad. You got to keep him too. So a lot of these decisions to be made. I would expect in the next couple of weeks, we'll get more clarity.
I'm excited.
And there was a report too. Carlos Correa, they're saying the Mets and the Yankees are interested in him. And, obviously being a Houston Astro, that's controversial right there, but he's a hell of a player. So if we were to bring him in at shortstop, that would be big. So a lot of talented shortstops this offseason. We'll see what happens. And I didn't mean to get off on a tangent there, but as Tony says all the time, it's all about the Yankees. And that still stands true, Michael. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I have range. I'll cover all sports. At the end of the day, Yankees are always going to be the priority. But we were talking NHL, so I'll get back to it. So I was watching Capitals Rangers last night, and this one was not close. Capitals at one point led 4-0. They end up winning 5-1. You look at this, I mean, home game, Capitals, I mean, you'd say, they have a more talented team than the Rangers. Ovechkin gets 2 goals. And then for the Rangers, I mean, a New York theme, lack of offense, don't get a goal till the third period. Chris Kreider, so obviously disappointing start for the Rangers. They finished the season well last year. I'm sure all their fans wanted to see them come out and make a statement.
Yeah,
they didn't
keep the momentum going.
But the good part for them, no off night. They are playing the Dallas Stars at home tonight, 7:00 MSG. I'm sure the Garden's going to be rocking.
Oh yeah.
And I honestly
Smack
expect
the microphone.
I'll smack it again.
because they're winning tonight.
That's what I was going to say. I honestly think decisive, Michael.
Yeah.
4-0 tonight. They're showing we're going to compete for playoffs. We're going to be in the conversation. And, with their new head coach, Gallant, not the way he wanted to start, but home crowd. I feel like sometimes we underestimate the power of the home crowd. Do you agree?
Yeah.
No matter
totally.
what sport we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, especially the Garden.
Nothing like it.
Nothing.
And I can't wait to see what it's going to be like this year, having, the full capacity at all these games. There's going to be nothing like it, honestly. Because playoffs, do you know what the percentage was? They didn't go full, did they?
No. It was, what is it? They could hold 33. They went to 15.
They went to 15. Okay. So, I can't wait to see that. So we'll see Rangers at Stars, 7 o'clock on MSG. And, hockey continues. I think, great exposure with these national TV deals with TBS, with ESPN. And it's funny. You should look it up. Wayne Gretzky.
I saw.
What was your thoughts on that hair?
I didn't see on the hair.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Better hair, like more of a ridiculous hair situation. Nick Wright or him?
Oh, Nick Wright. yeah, that's bad. Remember when he came on trying to act like no one's gonna notice? I want to pull that clip up.
So actually, I don't think I ever saw that. Honestly, yeah, I really did not see that.
Oh my god.
But while you're pulling that up and we're kind of transitioning here to NBA, this did just come across, before we started here. LiAngelo Ball, the brother of Lonzo and obviously LaMelo, has signed with the Hornets.
He signed with the Hornets?
Yeah, they signed him to a regular deal. Terms of the deal weren't disclosed, but he did just sign with them. So be interesting to see, if it's a two-way deal, if he starts in the G League or whatnot. But he's been waiting to get on the scene, for a while here. So obviously, that is big for them. And I've always thought he has talent. Just sometimes it's just a matter, of opportunity. And then, before the pre-show, they did announce too, no fixed timeline on Zion Williamson. So he will be sidelined to start the season because of a right foot injury that required offseason surgery. Any concern from you, Michael?
A little.
Like that this is going to be like a thing, or could you see it being an Embiid situation where he figures it out?
Yeah, figures it out. Embiid took some time.
Yeah, it took 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Is this what is?
I'm trying to find. I don't want this to be wrong. This is a Shaq thing of even
if you don't know Nick Wright, chances are you've heard his hot takes here.
The Milwaukee Bucks this morning are the favorite.
I forgot. This one's funny. Nick,
Respect for me. All that on
Ennis Cantor touches his hair.
Told Nick Wright he got the worst hairpiece on the team.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's funny. Ennis Cantor, Milford legend, has the keys to the town.
Yeah, I remember that.
So funny. Just want to make sure you're in the frame. Got it. All right.
Oh, God. Tremendous respect for me. All that on itself. Man, when you told Nick Wright he got the worst hairpiece on the team. Oh, God. That right there, bro. That right there was priceless.
All right, Cantor, let's try to touch that. Go ahead, mess it up. Hold on, put him on camera. Go ahead. Be careful. Go ahead, mess it up. Is it fake or real?
This is actually looks real, but I've been watching the show for 3 years, and it's getting longer, and you got the middle stage.
That was the worst.
You got the middle stage. I'm like, what is this? Is it like we're in a wig?
That middle stage
This
is
is the
pretty
weirdest thing
bad.
ever.
Yeah,
It definitely is some super expensive hair transplant thing. Come on, what do you think?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to, and that's like Shaq having a full head of hair tomorrow.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's a Chief though. But dude, my news.
Yep.
About NBA.
Okay.
Kevin Knox he's in the 8-man rotation right now.
I actually did look up the box score last night. Big win for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Who are they playing?
They're 3-0 right now. I forgot who they played last night.
Did you see the game at all? Or
I
just
watched
kinda
some.
highlights?
I always watch the Knicks highlights.
Randall went off.
Dude, him and RJ went off.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, don't be surprised if you see Knicks have 3 All-Stars this season. Kemba, RJ, and
Knox.
No. Knox, Knox looks good, dude.
Randall.
He is playing smart. He as soon as he gets the ball, it's no dribbling up the court. He's turning and firing it up, getting the ball moving. What are you smirking about? Why are you checking your phone and smirking? Someone's watching you and texting you or something.
No. It was no, it was just about food. I mean, Tony Remos. Thank God Tony's not here. If I said Remos, he would have smacked me.
Yeah, you got to bring it in next time he's here.
Yeah. Wait, what do we got here?
Goldstein. They played Detroit.
Richard, I'll see you later.
Yes.
He's actually in my fantasy league I was just telling you about.
Cool.
So we're gonna draft later.
Nice.
Definitely watch the game. But I mean, the Knicks
look good, dude. I'm telling you, another year together, another year with that core, another year for RJ and the pieces around them. Dude, they're shooting threes like crazy right now.
And it's funny because last year was it they started out awful. And
awful. It grew. Now it's even better.
Right.
And the ball movement is ridiculous. I'm talking Spurs-esque 4, 5, 6, 7 passes, dude.
Thoughts on the Rose proposal on the court?
Loved it. He loves New York, dude. You want to talk about destiny? They're building destiny right now. They're building it. If RJ can be an all-star, Trae Young level, people talking about him in that name with those young guys, this team's scary.
No, and I was actually smiling.
And Mitchell Robinson, 20 pounds of muscle.
I did hear that. And I was actually smiling because I completely agree with you. I love what they're doing long term.
Yeah.
I think it started with Thibodeau, and now you're bringing in other guys and just setting the tone. But I was saying they're building long term, and you know who's not building long term?
The Brooklyn Nets.
Yes.
How funny the tides have changed. Remember, like they were that young team with a bunch of pieces, went all in, and the Knicks were the team that usually have the stars try to go big on the kind of in their prime stars, overpay. And now look what's going on, dude.
And I know it seems biased, but I swear to God, I'm confident in this. With their core, with Durant, with Harden, I'm guaranteeing it. They are never winning a title. It's going to be the same situation. Obviously, they're going to have more success than they did with Pierce and Garnett, but I'm telling you, they're not winning.
Dude, you know what's funny? Lakers, speaking of super teams, is the stat just it's organic, Barnes. Right, came in my head. It's just funny. It's right after this, but Lakers go 0-8 or whatever it is in the preseason. What are they?
0-4.
0-4. I'm sorry. And the last time they did that,
they won the title.
No, it's sad. It's sad. It's tough. It's the Steve Nash Howard year where they're trash.
Oh man. But I'm not.
Let's hope Walker and Fournier help get the Knicks through the first round of the playoffs the same. It definitely will. Definitely, Richard.
And I have to say, Richard, great point. I have to say, completely forgot they got Fournier.
You forgot? Dude, I'm telling you, he's gonna have a big year.
Are they gonna start him?
Yeah. And guess who's starting for the Lakers? Melo.
What's your thoughts on that?
Love it. Did you see that they did the ball trick, him and Russ again?
No.
They brought it back, and it's so funny. The shot of Melo, the ball gets tipped. Anthony Davis asked him, do you want the ball? You're going to do it? He's like, yeah. And then the guy's about to get it on the other team. Melo just completely shoves him. Blatant. Look, you can see it. And the refs don't call anything to let him do his little stupid bowling ball through his legs trick.
And it was funny. I listened to like 5 shows today, called into 2 the other day. I lose track of who says what, but I'm pretty sure. So it was actually, they called the show Morning Men. It's on Sirius 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio. And they just added Willie Colon. He used to be on Barstool.
I love Willie.
So
used to be on 98.7, dude. He was great for a little bit there.
Obviously former Jet.
Yes, exactly. Gotta love them.
And he said he was like watching the Lakers preseason game. He said every time Westbrook shoots, LeBron like looks at like after he bricks it, like,
oh God.
And like basically every time that he shoots, like he's just thinking like run in to collect the rebounds.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they'll figure that whole situation out. And it's funny. Chokery was texting me the other night. He likes what he's seen out of Rondo this preseason.
Yeah.
He says he wishes that they didn't even have Westbrook and they would go Rondo full time.
But what about this? What about Westbrook convincing Westbrook to come off the bench?
That would be good, but I don't think it's
realistic.
He would never do it. But the thing is, I said this, they have a lot of older guys. They're going to have to be 10, 11, 12 deep. So you're going to need Russell Westbrook. Rondo is not playing 82 games.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's like It's fine the way it
Yes,
is.
yeah.
Everybody's getting plenty of playing time because there's going to be a lot of rest and older guys. So I'm fine with it. And they're actually going to play 10 o'clock tonight, NBA TV. So maybe before bed, maybe I'll check it out.
First half.
But I'm not worried about the preseason. You know what I mean?
Me either.
Actually 0-5, so I stand corrected.
0-5, yeah.
But I think opening night, they'll have their way with the Warriors. Clay's not back yet. And Wiggins could possibly go 5 for 25.
True. Very, 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 very possible.
Westbrook, in your opinion, is he making the All-Star team this year?
No. There's too many guys, dude. What are you talking about?
Do you think just AD and LeBron?
From that team, maybe even just one of them.
I mean, I find it hard to believe if LeBron's healthy, there's no way he's not making the All-Star team, first of all. And then AD's kind of the same thing.
I know.
West is tough, though.
West is tough. That's what I'm saying. There could be guys that are don't have all the power that they have, and they're putting up crazy numbers.
I'm curious what your take is here. I have someone in mind. Out of not the big names, the former All-Stars, who do you think, not from that group, who's going to be the most important piece on the Lakers this year that's going to make a difference?
Melo.
But I said not the former All-Stars.
Oh, not the former. I honestly think I could see McClung, not McClung, the Hillbilly Kobe being a piece. LeBron. I forgot his name. Yes, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
I think by far, and I would have said THT, if he's
Trevor
Ariza. No, Malik Monk.
Oh yeah. I forgot about him.
He could win 6-man this year.
Yeah, he needs to ball out, dude. They need him.
And you know what it is with him too? He hasn't had a terrible start to his career.
No.
But he also,
it's not what they thought.
Exactly. For being a first round pick.
For top 5, I think.
But
right?
I could see him making, 200-300 3-pointers this year, honestly. Shooting 45%.
Yeah, I could see him. How long is Westbrook's deal?
I think it's only this year, I hope.
Oh, thank
God.
God.
If not, it might be one more, but
yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's too much confidence, but I've said this before. No pun intended.
Yeah.
I just think LeBron is going to make sure he doesn't do that many stupid things.
Of course. But you like this stat actually, since Russell is on your team now, and by default you have to support him. Harden, Kevin Durant. Who else has he played with?
Beal,
Paul George, Harden, Durant, and Paul George and Beal. When they had their highest scoring numbers of their career, points per game, all with Westbrook as a teammate.
Because he needs those assists for the triple double.
He does need them. He does.
Do you think though he really is the ultimate stat grabber?
Oh, dude, I've seen.
Not even close.
I've watched a whole highlight video of him pushing Steven Adams out of the way multiple times.
But
what a great, and honestly, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Talk about a GOAT teammate, Steven Adams.
Yeah.
Always just having to deal with him day after day.
Where did he go?
He is with New Orleans.
I thought
is he not there anymore? Yeah. Or is he?
Grizzlies. Valanciunas trade.
Oh.
Right?
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I like Valanciunas on the Pelicans.
But you know what? That's dope. They like Steven Adams because John reminds them of Russell.
Yeah, exactly. Any thoughts on the Kyrie Instagram live last night?
Thoughts on it is he's saying not to believe anything, right? What did he say? Not to believe anybody or
like
anything?
What they're saying about him, but I was listening to ESPN radio all day. Nice to not have to hear these scrubs on the fan in the midday.
Yeah.
I was listening to Bart and Hahn and Rothenberg.
Yeah.
And they've all said the same thing. They're very confused, like what he actually is trying to say. I don't know if you kind of grasp that or not. Like, it's like at the end of the day, what's the premise? And it's just like, you know what I mean? Whatever the situation is, you know what I mean? It's like whatever you believe in, that's fine. But I just think, and I don't know if you agree with this, I don't think he makes it clear like what the end goal is, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like he could have his opinion about, the mandate, this and that, but it's like, but at the end of the day, like what that he's doing is going to do something. That's what that's why I just think it's like, he doesn't really want to play. That's just what I gather from it. I don't know. Like, if you
I don't know if it's that. I feel like he loves basketball. It's all he talks about. Like, but I don't know what it is. I said, we talked about it. It sucks. He's not being clear on why he's doing it.
Right. So you agree that the message is unclear.
If he said on live, like, hey, I'm doing this because I just don't feel like I should have to take the vaccine. Right. Clear as day. That's it. Blah, blah. Then we have our answer, but we don't have an answer.
He said he's not anti-vaccine.
Yeah, he's not anti, but he's saying, and then he says, like, don't believe anybody. But it's like, then tell us what to believe, dude. What is it then?
And then somebody called into Bart and Hahn, and they were saying, I have an easy solution. Have him donate all of his salary to the people that are losing their jobs. And it's just like, that's the thing with him. You know what I mean? Like I said, like, I'm all for what you believe in, good causes, but I just feel like he says stuff, but it's like, what are the things that he's actually doing to, produce results? It just seems like it's a lot of talk, but not a lot of action.
Right. I actually saw a funny meme photo of Kyrie smirking, like his face was turned like this, like towards you, like, right? Mm-hmm. And in the background was like a burning house. And then they wrote underneath it, Kyrie to every organization he goes to.
No, but I don't think there is another organization that he goes to. I don't think anybody wants him.
No, I'm just saying.
No. That meme is funny, but I'm just saying I'm really questioning his future in the NBA because you know what I mean? It's like, how these general managers, these owners work. They don't want this type of sideshow. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Especially with him after what he did last year, like the Nets, after all this money that they've spent and what their expectations are. You know what I mean? Sean Marks.
Cleveland did. Cleveland. Boston did. Brooklyn.
They all got burned. Think about what happened, though. Like Boston, I swear to God, and I know he had the injuries, but Boston historically has always had great medical people. I swear to God, Isaiah Thomas would have led them to an NBA title by now. Not even kidding.
I agree.
They had never gotten Kyrie, ruined that team.
Yeah, had all the cap. They had all the fucking picks too, dude, back then.
Yeah, and then look what happened to the Cavs after he left. What's their winning percentage since he left? You know what I mean? They destroyed that franchise. And then I don't know, man. Like, do you I know it's hard to predict the future, but like with Kyrie, without Kyrie, I mean, do you foresee the Nets winning a championship in the next 5 years?
It's tough, dude. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you think he's the deciding factor, or do you think that they're better without him? Like if they were to just release him tomorrow, would they be better off?
Maybe.
I think 100% unequivocally, yes.
I mean, you just have Harden at point, and then like Mills comes off, Patty Mills
Aldridge,
comes off the bench.
Griffin,
it's a great.
Harris,
they do have a good team.
Brown.
Dude. They have a good team, like good vets, good youth. It's just tough what's going on with Kyrie, and I don't know how true it is, but I told you last time if I heard KD, could be okay with him getting traded, but I never believe anything people write about NBA players' thoughts unless it's like a quote.
Dude, I have I think so, they've had the organization itself has had enough distractions. I don't buy anything that Harden or KD are saying. There's no way that they're not pissed off as hell.
Oh yeah.
They're not a fan of Kyrie. There's no way anybody on that team is a fan of Kyrie.
Well, dude, apparently the only reason they got Kyrie was to get KD.
Right. Exactly. It was a package deal. I don't know. And that's why it's like, whatever. Do what you got to do. But it's hard for me to imagine that I would act the way that he's acting. And when I had the opportunity that he has, I just can't imagine that. Yeah. Playing with two of the best guys in the league and just letting it go. I don't know.
I'm curious to see how it all unfolds.
I think he's never playing for them again.
So then you think he's never playing again?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
What give me something prediction.
I think they're gonna lift it, and he's gonna play. I'd say probably definitely by January.
But would you say there's a good chance they do lift it? He does come back, but then is there also a pretty good chance
that they're like steamrolling and like
no, that he just dips again like he did last year?
That'd be nuts. then that'd be really crazy.
And they were saying on Barton Hahn 1-year deals, if anything, the rest of his career.
Wow.
The way he's acted.
Wow.
I mean, it's just, but that's the business of the NBA. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm so confident they're not winning a title, because I just said this earlier in the show. Teams with distractions, they haven't won. They really haven't won in any sport.
The only one was the Mets in like 88 or whatever.
What was the distraction though?
All the drugs and stuff?
That wasn't a distraction. That was like their like performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah, literally. That's funny.
Oh man, but I'm pumped that NBA is gonna be back on Tuesday. And you know, I'm really looking forward to it. You gonna tune in maybe Lakers tonight just before bed?
Yeah, maybe, honestly. Who they play?
Mavericks, I think.
Oh, that's a good game.
But it's just, do you think there's any like easy solution for any sport, but specifically NBA with the preseason? Is there anything you can do to like, I don't know, not make it seem like you know what I'm saying?
Like an all-star game? Yeah.
Not even just an all-star game, but just that it's just like beat.
I know.
Like do you eliminate the preseason and just have joint practices and scrimmages?
Yeah, they're not
the money.
Yeah, they'd never do that, dude.
It's just like
it's all preseason is stupid.
Yeah. Which one do you think is the worst?
I can understand basketball I'd say baseball maybe.
I mean, because they have guys that are starting in single A.
Yeah.
Playing for the regular team.
Yeah, it's like, come on.
But then what about NFL season tickets? They make you buy the preseason tickets with your package.
That's stupid.
And then what do you don't want to go? No one wants to buy them. Yeah, to give them away, but it's like you're paying for them.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy. So that being said, Michael,
what a great show.
What a great show. I mean, we always bring it, the 1-2 punch for sure.
Always, dude. No matter what.
One
more comment before we go. NFL is the worst.
I mean,
third.
Especially when they used to have 4 preseason games. That last game, I mean, 99% of the players on the field aren't making the roster. But I think that's a product too of the NFL not having a minor league system. So it's like you can't just like I mean, I guess you have the practice squad, but hard to argue with that one. But that being said, Michael, looking forward to the games tonight.
Me too.
And let's just say we'll do it all again tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And then of course, thank you to American Mule.
Yeah.
Love the merch. Southern Mule, great drink. And to our listeners, keep commenting, liking, subscribing. Everyone enjoy your night, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.